He's also like now used to whatever setups I tend to play here, so I'm gonna have to play something different. Maybe like c5. See what he does. So c5, I never play that move. Why don't we just play our usual setup better than last time? Yeah, we should be back. We are back. Mr. Coffee, you don't take my knight, right? You won't do that. All right. I should have known. He did this before. But I don't mind, getting a free bishop. It's fine with me. Hippo. Hippo-like substance. Got here with black. See any reason that I have to castle right away? We can wait. Wait and see. BBB. What's up, Jim? Warnaki? I don't know what happened with my stream. Not the first time recently. It just sort of hiccuped. But it has nothing to do with power outages. I was joking earlier that we could lose power, but it won't happen during this stream. If I lose power, most likely it'll be sometime like tomorrow. The outer skirts of Hurricane Dorian are in an ocean quite far away from here, but slowly by tomorrow afternoon, we should get some pretty heavy-duty tropical storm type of weather. So, coffee. We've got coffee. Here it is. I need my coffee. Percy. All right, let's see. Guys, talking about tournament games. Bill added 200 points to what? Your bullet games? Your bullet rating? You're talking about that? $3-2 over the board Blitz tomorrow. Yeah, I can't get used to the fact that normal Blitz is like 3-2. I'm playing 5-3 here. That would seem fast. But for me, like, Blitz will always remain like 5-0. I don't mind using digital clocks. I'm not that old that I have to play on an analog clock, but Blitz, to me, still the real time control seems like 5-0. So 3-2 is like the equivalency of, but I'd rather have my 5 minutes and use it how I want to use it than play 3-2. Mr. Coffee with a very committal move there, D5. All right, we'll try to do a little Bronstein magic. Guys, did you tune in for yesterday's stream? Move 11 shared a game by David Bronstein against Master Golembeck. This reminds me a little bit stylistically of that position. 5-3 is too slow. I'm trying to decide what to take to my new house if I ever buy another house. I'm actually not planning on buying another house right now, but I've got to save stuff in case I do later. And I'm just thinking it's weird. Like, should I keep like analog clocks? And I've actually got in the box here a bunch of chess clocks, like analog chess clocks. It's not like somebody's gonna buy those at a garage sale. What should I do? Just throw out the analog chess clocks? Okay, Rook C1. I guess we'll castle. Sell them on eBay. 2386. Okay, so knight c5, bishop c2, a5. I can't really maintain that knight on c5 in the structure. I wonder if I should play a5 and weaken my queenside more. Let's not and say we did. All right, Coffee. Mr. Coffee's king is in the outer bands over North Carolina right now. It isn't too late to evacuate Mr. Coffee, if you want to evacuate, the bridge is going to close when the hurricane starts. Hurricane force winds along the F file. So this is your last chance to evacuate. Little hurricane jokes. But that's the eBay. Check it out. Senor Coffee. The problem is knight f6, knight h4, believe it or not, might actually be a good move. I don't think Coffee would necessarily... He's a little bit lazy calculation-wise. I'm not sure he would go for knight h4. He's too principled. Knight h4, let's see if he does it. It might just be a good move. And I shouldn't have told him about it. Senor Coffee. Knight h4. Knight h4, knight takes d5, knight g6, rook f6. I actually didn't analyze that far. Maybe I have a good move there. Rook g6. Pawn takes f5 at the end. So Coffee plays queen c4. This is kind of a weird move. He's obviously fixated on the white squares. You have a white square fixation, Mr. Coffee. But still maybe a useful move. I am not awake. Don Cave. That sounds like a coffee house in Budapest or something. The queerest names for stuff. They just randomly name stuff like restaurants and coffee houses and stuff. Stuff. I'm like George Carlin. I just keep saying stuff. What's up, guys? Mr. Coffee. Well, what if I move my knight here? Where do you want to put it, though? I don't want to see knight h4. This is driving me crazy. All right, Coffee. Sound evacuation of king. Start running. Not happy with this game. I don't like playing the new Mr. Coffee. I like the old Mr. Coffee who played the Kali system. I don't like the new Mr. Coffee who plays the Tory attack. It's a little bit better. He played knight h4 now. That's a totally different position now we're talking about. Can't believe you did that. Totally different situation. Now I can conveniently defend this with my king. The other position with knight h4, for some reason that wasn't available. So I guess g3. Too much keyboard time, too much screen time for me. I'm having trouble reading the chat. G3. Yeah, I think that's the right move. This is for move 11. Dedicated to move 11. Our viewer who submitted the Bronstein game the other day. Move 11 said he really loved the knight g8 maneuver that Bronstein did. Of course, this is a very typical King's Indian type of maneuver. Coffee will lose on time. So far, he's defending better than Gollenbeck against Bronstein. The chat is mental. No, I really, I think I was just reading the screen too much today. So coffee kicking back, sounding the evacuation sirens. I'm about to lose on time. But you guys know that already. I have a really strange idea here. Very bad. I totally spaced on the fact that knight g5 is like check in some lines. Mr. Coffee felt bad for me, I think. Since he's the moderator, it's like, all right, I'll give you a piece. Man, this was totally unconvincing. I don't even have compensation for the pawn here. This is just... I was thinking of taking with the H pawn, honestly. And just seeing what I've got on the H file. Because this looks bogus. Alright, so F3 was just a blunder. I couldn't decide what to play in this position. I had a good position now, but just couldn't decide. Bishop G5 would have been the right move. Something to that effect. Almost played Bishop H3. But I think you had a great position, Coffee. Knight H4 was a bad move. I mean, you had an okay position. Knight H4, this is kind of crazy here. You should have played that earlier, I think. You know, it was a little late by the time you played it. It was a different position when you could have played Knight H4 before. Okay, guys. Welcome to my Blitz stream. We're doing 5+3 casual, and we're just taking the challenges as they come. So you don't necessarily have to be a subscriber to play, as you guys mostly know. I'm not asking for people to be subscribers. Simply get in the queue and, as they say in the UK, and you know, have approximately 100 games, like an established account. So let's try something different. Mr. Coffee's on the ferry. He's evacuating, is what you're saying. I get it. I think when black closes the center with F4, that's a moment where you really have to put serious thought into running away with the white king in any kind of classical King's Indian type of structure, because the pawn storm will just swallow you up. We've been here before. I don't know why I keep playing this H3 line. This is one of Roman's old favorites, but it's actually not that great for white, probably. Double fianchetto makes sense here. I'm not sure about E5. Can I play this and trade queens and go into an endgame? Because knight takes bishop b7 looks okay for you. I'm just curious to try this. I have not ever played this position before. I was just going to sack a pawn with e6. You know that famous Ponda, sack a Ponda. He claims he has Native American heritage, but I don't know. The H3 line is in Watson. My dear Watson. Wait, what does the Peerts have to do with Watson? There must be some book John came out with that has something to do with the Pearts? That's weird. Are you talking about the King's Indian? Because that's a different animal. Different type of panda. If you're talking about like the King's Indian, that's totally different zebra. Okay, well that's probably what you meant. I mean, I like the structure here. What's the best way to do this? Put pressure on pawn. Dimitrios plays too quickly, you know, so I'm gonna take my time and really try to try to punish him for any mistakes, any and all mistakes. But I'm more than happy to sacrifice a pawn to double these pawns in a classical King's Indian or Pearts. Bedtime. Panda is campaigning for Elizabeth Warren. At least he's a Democrat, but I don't even think he's a U.S. citizen. I mean, this panda. Macro panda. The other panda's in Hungary. So 95. Messing with me. Structure looks bankrupt for black. Good things are bound to happen. He's got knight c6. No. I saw the video where Bernie is like shushing a baby at his campaign event or something. It's like they were joking with Bernie Sanders that he was born an old man. It's really kind of funny. He just came out like that. He's always been an old man. All right. I don't like this for you, Dimitri. Your structure looks really shot. You need to have something for that. Something in exchange for that. So he's taking. What's the plan? Now you're missing the dark square bishop that protects the king side. I think this looks sketchy for black. Very sketchy. Yeah, the grumpy old man award goes to. So knight c6. He's trying to play this. I guess I should play rook d1. These moves are just so easy to find. Now obviously he has rook f6, bishop g5. I can win my pawn back at least. Uber Premium. Not our subscriber Uber driver. I feel like I have to find better than this. You know, and now it's like I think I screwed myself, because if I hadn't played rook d1, if I had played this directly, like bishop g5, bishop h6, rook f6, bishop g5, then bishop takes e6 check, bishop takes e6, queen takes e6 check, king moves, queen takes c6 would be free. But now I forced him to defend his own knight on c6, which is really dumb. But he literally has no really useful move in this position. Black's position is dysfunctional. While we increase the volume. forcing me to do what I have to do. Clearly, that was a good move by him. Because now he has queen c6. And things like that. Yeah, this rook d1 move really... That was lame. That was a big bad move. Rook d1 was the worst move I made. Such an automatic move. And I don't really want to trade queens with his king exposed like this. That was the dryer. Alright guys, time for laundry. Sorry, gotta go. Move 11, subscribe to tier 1. 27 months, dude. This is the 27-month club. Cheers to Move 11, man. Anybody else got 27 months? That's awesome. Bob just subscribed for a measly 25 months. Nefedov, you know, Nefedov, I don't know. I think Nefedov's protesting Bob or something. He hasn't been here in forever, but he was close. I think Nefedov was around, he was around 26 months, I'd guess. I'm not even up any material. It's such a pity. It's such a pity that my bishop's not on h6 right here. He just insta-took it. Wow. He's like, whatever. I'm going to fix your pawn structure. I'm not thinking. I would have had to like think there for a minute. Dimitri's just like, whatever. Trade. And as I said, I think I don't really want to trade here. Invasive species. This queen. Nefedov's here. Oh my god, he's here. 26th. It is 26 months in a row. I thought we'd never see Nefedov again. It's been so long. Because Move 11 just subscribed to 27 months, and I thought you're the only person who could have that many or close. There might be others. I mean, but not as, I'm not sure. Like Mule Skinner. Jim hasn't been subscribing quite that long. Nefedov's got to be up there. King G7. So what are we doing? Is there some reason I can't take this? Free pawn. What is Asterbait at? That's a good question. Actually, Asterbait has to be really up there too. Yeah, obviously. For a moment, I thought I like dropped a piece or something. You see the horrified expression on my face. But no. I'm not afraid to play the endgame 2 pawns up, but I was just looking to see if I had something better. I said Beetlejuice 3 times. I thought I was watching movies with his kids again or something. You know, I've never seen Beetlejuice. All right. Asterbait has how many months? Only? $17 months? Asterbait must have taken a break or something. Bob, I've seen the Candyman. More into horror movies. Like, not pseudo horror movies like Beetlejuice. Kitty horror. A4. Creating 2 connected pass pawns. I better be careful I don't flag. The outsider. Uh-oh, now he has knight f6. Free range chickens. Beware of knight forks. Well, Astrobee just donated 1,100. Thank you, sir, for the donation. Wow. Tim Burton. Yeah, I like most Tim Burton stuff. Okay, tough game. Thank you, Astrobate. Wow, 1,100. So Astrobate is up to 2,000. I can't even read. 2,275. Jim was 700. Blobix was 600. Jim's here. Blobix is not here today. Warnaki, WJ Loof, Dragon BC, HTFP, Fishrat Cal, Merle Dixon, and Mr. C. So I've got a challenge from Duco for 3-0 rated. First of all, let's check his rating. Duco has enough games, but I don't play 3-0 and I don't play rated. So please challenge me to 5+3 casual. Bisonow's up next. Baleful. Good evening from Hurricane Dorian. The outer bands are just starting to rain here, but I don't expect a big storm. I might lose power, though, tomorrow. Now, Dempsey Hooligan said, the hooligan. He's a hooligan. 100, good evening from Dortmund. Welcome. Late for the European crowd. Midnight. The storm, I don't know that it shifted. I didn't watch the news in the last couple hours, but it's predicted to just be tropical storm conditions here tonight and tomorrow. So I got to remember to fill up the bathtub with water because we lose power really easily. I mean, even just like, we're supposed to get 40 mile an hour winds. Even just like 30 mile an hour winds, we could lose power. Even just like normal storms. Yeah, Sunday's supposed to be nice, but if I do lose power, you never know how long it takes them to fix it. But they're not expecting like major damage. The only thing that could happen is that we had a tornado in the summer, and if it was to spawn tornadoes, they could do extensive damage. That is not something that typically happens here. Just a normal power outage shouldn't last more than, half a day or something. Do you drink the bathwater? Use it for everything, Bob. It's a Romanian thing. My friends in Romania, they always fill the bathtub up with water, no matter what. Any kind of emergency. Use it for everything. Showers, drinking it. They just have a standing policy of always keeping the bathtub filled up. When you live in Eastern Europe. But yeah, I guess use it for whatever you want, Bob. A little bit of everything. Mixing drinks. You wanted to tell me you're planning on joining me for the stream on Sunday. In person, live? I mistakenly thought I was having an estate sale this weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. So Nefida, make sure you let me know if you're coming. But it's funny because I got confused about my dates. I'm actually having an estate sale the following weekend. If you guys want to stop by, feel free to pick up some stuff. No chess books for sale. I'm keeping most of my chess stuff. Except for, I told you guys, I have a box of chess clocks. Maybe I'll dump the chess clocks. eBay's been going okay. If I was on leave from the job or from the family or both. Sounds like he's in the army. Both. Freedom, at last. Bishop f4. Polish defense. I can't leave my king in the center forever here. It's kind of awkward. I have to say that Baisanov really does play the opening well. So the 20th, 21st is my estate sale. I looked at the website today and I was like, wait, why doesn't it say the 13th and the 14th? I should know when I'm having my own estate sale. I just hope I could sell enough stuff to like pay for the estate sale and make some money. So, yeah, we haven't seen you enough, Nefidov. I'm always sorry that you're not here. Appreciate our oldest survivors. So, Rook E1. What a good patient move. God, I hate making this exchange. My Shogun Warrior has got a bid, Asterbait. $40 is on the table for the vintage die-cast Shogun Warrior. And you know, the really sad part is I had another one, but I think I threw it away by accident when I was cleaning out a lot of old toys and junk out. Those die-cast Japanese toys are very collectible. So what are we doing? Baisanov is good. He's good with tension. He's not afraid either. But anytime you play this kind of Polish defense, it's a little bit on the sketchy side for black because I'm leaving my king in the center. You know, this bishop's unprotected. I want to get it out of there, but it takes a long time because you're developing the queen side more quickly than the king side. It's pretty unusual to play this way with the black pieces. But the funny part is that actually, theoretically, this move has a very, very good reputation. This particular move, it may seem eccentric, but check out like the lichess Opening Explorer. I mean, black's score with this move is probably off the charts. And I think it's a little exaggerated even. Now this looks like we could have a potential mistake. I've got to be careful he doesn't have some sort of tricks here. B4. B4. Knight takes E3. B takes E5. Knight takes D1. Tried to play the classical shield today. By the time my first game was done, someone had 29 points already. That's sick. Old people always exaggerate their, what is it? Sympathy? Senility for sympathy. What are we talking about? Old is relative. Yeah, we're very happy to do that damage to the white structure. Hey man, I'm insulted. I'm old. And 39. Going on 39. I'll be 39 again next year. Not surprisingly, but it's still relatively old. 39 is not old. Mr. Coffee, does it sound familiar? Good point. WJ Luce says you don't have to be old to be senile. The big 5-0. All right. No senior championships for me. Don't worry. They had like the US senior closed. Now they have like a closed tournament, which seems a little exaggerated and strange to me. They never had a US closed championship for seniors. But I noticed that Sarawan still doesn't play. It's like ridiculous. Why doesn't he play? I mean, give me a break, man. He's going to be like in heaven, like, you know, dead or whatever you want to call it. And he's still going to be like refusing to play in tournaments. Like he'll be there with God or whatever, you know. Do you want to play in the tournament? Yes or no? No, I'm holding out for you know, a better like prize fund or something like. I want a larger appearance fee before I'm, you know, willing to play in the tournament. Bishop takes c6. This is such a good position for me. Well, it used to be anyway. No, it's probably still good. Did I miss something? Yes, apparently I did. Yeah, Yasuo will be a commentator in the Everlasting. It's so sad. I mean, really. I mean, I shouldn't really make fun of him because I'm not playing, but I would play. I mean, I've only been like inactive completely for the last few months. Even when I was like playing poker, I still played some. Man, Bysonov is tough, dude. Refuses to give an inch. Just keeps trying to trade off my stuff. Damn it, dude. Eventually I'm gonna hang something here. The knight on d4 is just still taking up its post. Is my queen trapped yet? My queen is sort of semi-trapped, isn't it? Wow. Look at that move. It's not so tempting to take the pawn, but at the same time, I also have this. I should have played this last move instead of h5. Rook b8 was probably crunchy. Bob Sack Baleful, Dragon B, and Doko. Mubat, deleted. Whatever. We've got 32 viewers. Thank God the St. Louis tournament is over. Or is it still going? I heard that it like wouldn't die. I heard that Kasparov got crushed or something. It was on my phone. Like general news. But what people don't understand is like the cause and effect. Like Kasparov didn't lose to Caruana because he's old or whatever. He lost because he doesn't play. Like there's a big difference. That was like the news article I saw. Like Kasparov, you know, is too old or age or whatever. It's not, dude. It's obviously, it's called not playing. You know, that's what happens. It's not because he's old. There's plenty of old players who are still playing pretty well. These people who are like journalists should be a little bit more thoughtful. The dude just doesn't, I'm sure he just doesn't play. You know, I mean, you can't maintain that level. I don't care who you are, you know, if you don't play. I think that Kasparov could have, you know, he could have stayed probably in the top 15 in the world for a long time. But you can't just like not play for, you know, for 10 years and just take on the best players in the world and do okay. But I like the whatever article I saw on my phone was just like old or age or whatever. That's has nothing to do with it really. Most people who are old and suck like me, it's the responsibilities that get you. It's not because I'm too old, because my brain doesn't work or something like that. You're just, you know, you're too busy doing other stuff. Okay, Bob, congratulations. You won a piece. 39 is not that old, that's true. Anyway, the Rouse's syndrome. That's true. Another point that Dempsey Hooligan brought up, he was intensive, you know, Kasparov, very intensive. It's not like Anand, who, you know, he could play chess in his sleep and he wouldn't get stressed out about it. You know, it just, Kasparov was all energy, and I'm sure it's like really not easy to be that intensive. You have to hate your opponents, you know. He forgot how to hate his opponents properly. Something like that. We sort of lured Bob into playing like what looks like something similar to like a semi-Slav here. Bob is totally out of it here. He doesn't know. He's not in his normal area of comfort zone, let's say. He takes g5. Thank you. I take donations in all sizes, shapes, and forms. Cash in bags is the best. Bob just resigned. I like it, Bob. Nice job. Bob was lured into overextending himself. Okay, Baleful. Otherwise known as Anonymous. Been a long time. I want to do like a double fianchetto. Anyone else get nauseous before their OTB games? Ask Move 11 about that. I don't know. He's always sending me, you know, info about health, and he's really into that kind of thing. He could probably give you some input. Actually, my friend, the Weed Master, Joe, he says he gets very anxious. That's why he stopped playing, because it Just like stresses him out or something. Once I had a panic attack when I was playing. I've told the story before. I had, I guess I just had too much coffee and I don't know. You know, I was playing Enrico Saviano in the New York Open, but I never felt nauseous. You know, I mean, I was always nervous in a good way. Like when I first started out playing, when I was a kid, I would always like have trouble sleeping the night before the tournament. As far as feeling like as far as feeling like nauseous, kind of, no, I never had anything like that. I forgot about Baleful's repertoire here. What's going on? He's gonna sack his queen? You guys need to stop. What are you guys talking about? Bob offer you a second month subscription? What's going on? Do I win a piece somehow? Sadly, it's possible. What is going on? Queen takes c4, knight takes c3, bishop takes c3, bishop a6, queen e4, bishop takes e2, queen takes a8, bishop takes f1, bishop takes g7, king takes g7, rook takes f1 with equal material. But that's a lot of captures. How many captures would that be? Not simultaneously, but continuously. In continuity. Incontinent. Different subject. All right. Don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you guys need to get married or something. Well, his knight is hanging and he's down a pawn. So c3 might be a really good move. But it also makes sense to simply play like bishop g7, right? Mr. Coffee can marry you on the stream. Not in all countries, James. It's like Law in Space or whatever. We can have a virtual wedding online, right? Did you guys see that story about the astronaut who might be charged with the first space crime? For like checking her ex-girlfriend's bank account online, like while on the space station? I mean, that's totally ridiculous. All right. Petty bickering children. I mean, seriously, they need to just like not publicize this. It's ridiculous. You committed the first space crime. Blue collar space prison. I like this position. I like my extra pawn. Maybe we can like charge Donald Trump in space and send him out there to the Space Force prison or something. C2. Is this good enough though? I could have had an extra rook. God, my eyes are bothering me today. It's like I can't see the board normally. I need glasses. Actually, I helped him here because I gave him like the perfect blockade with the knight on c2. So my first plan was play knight b4. Maybe I should stick with that. I'm not sure about this. I mean, obviously black is probably winning, but I could have won a whole rook. How could I win a whole rook? I can't imagine. Now we're just up a piece. Baleful. Baleful is not sharp. Was not sharp tactically here. Piece for a pawn. I've got challenges, guys, for taking Dragon B, Duco. This one is the wrong time control. It should be 5+3. So oldie, an oldie but a goodie. If you'd like to challenge me, feel free, but it's got to be 5+3 casual. Mathematics chess. Mathematic chess. Same thing. 5+3 casual. There's only one time control. It's casual 5+3. It's easy. You don't have to, really think about it. We just do one time control. Do you guys have a network error? I'm trying to see my own stream, but I'm not there. I hope I didn't have another problem with the stream. Looks good. For some reason on Twitch, I take back. Stream is fine now. I don't know. For some reason, it crashed on my player. I don't know why. Everything's good now. Oops. Not the best move. We're luckily going to be okay here. I think I had something a little stronger. Knight a3 wins further material. That was 45 minutes ago. So knight g5 here would have been the best try. He's just dropping pieces. All right, man. Good game. Nice knowing you. It was nice knowing you. Okay. Dragon B. Just hope he doesn't get white. Oh, no. All right. No Catalan. We've got to play something to avoid his prime opening. The Catalan. Fortunately, I don't play D5. But whatever. Acerbate bid on the Microsoft plushie. Microsoft. See, I can't see. I blinded myself by staring at a light today. And I've had these like, you look at a light that's too bright and you get those like, what do they call it? Like the temporary sort of color that you can't get out of your eye. I don't know what that's called. Like sunspots or whatever. I did that to myself today. I think I looked like directly into like a lamp or something by accident. It's been driving me crazy. Lamond. Dragon B. Now you can play the white side of the piers. I actually move ordered this a lot. That's a Benko idea against Fischer. Floaters, tiny clumps of cells inside the what? All these cells float in the vitreous gel. Cast shadows on the retina. Sounds interesting, Bob. Did you just learn that on Google? Good job, man. Master of Google. You actually typed that out? Are you kidding me? Get out of here. I believe anything, really. It's unbelievable how naive I am. It's just unbelievable. Ask my first wife. Oh well. I was serious. It wasn't a joke. But, alright. Dragon B. I like B3. I played this myself. This is Kramnik. Kramnik system. This was my preparation like 2 years ago. I never really got my chance to play it. I played one game against a guy from Ukraine, and I beat him. Belus. Not the Grandmaster. I guess like his brother or something. There was a FIDE Master Belus, and I beat him. You type that optically. Get it? I'm not afraid to go with the crab pawn. I had my friend, I've told this story before, Jim probably remembers, but FIDE Master Charlie Hertan, who I mention sometimes for his books, he and I used to joke around, and so we would have matches where like one side plays h5, the other side plays like a5. It was the queen side, it's the crab. On the king side, it's the lobster. So it was like lobster versus crab. This is the crab over here. Oh, by the way, Astrobate, I was just saying, you bid on my Minecraft plushie? I've actually got 3 more. So the first one is just a trial balloon. Now what are we going to do about the other 3? You know, you want to go whole hog and just take my whole inventory? There's more where that one came from. All right, we'll see. So we wedge the pawn on a3, but I've got to be careful I don't drop it. What would Kramnik do? Retire. Worse than Saruman. Did Vladimir Kramnik have some sort of health problem? Or did he just retire, like, because he... I don't know. Why did Kramnik retire? Has he said publicly? Exactly. Tired. But if you're tired, you take a break. You don't, like, retire forever. You know what I mean? You don't commit to, like, permanent retirement. He wanted to coach? It sort of seems weird. Was Kramnik ever, like, a second to anybody? You know what I mean? Like, he would probably get help from other people. He probably never really, like, coached anyone in his life. He had other people helping him, mostly. So, is this going to be a problem like knight b1? I don't believe it. I dare you to play knight b1. He coaches Russian team now. Okay, that's a job. It's sort of an excuse, you know. But you could do that and still keep playing, you know what I mean? It's weird. So disappointing. He was like number 2 in the world like 2 years ago. How do you go from number 2 in the world to saying, oh, I need to retire because I'm 40, you know, whatever. How old is Kramnik? Like 47, 49? Even younger, actually? How old is Kramnik? C5. 44. Older than me, of course. Don't say anything, Bob. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. I'm sure a lot of your teachers explained that to you before. Man, the white center just melted and disappeared. This just looks great for me. Dude, Dempsey Hooligan, I thought that he would have been like the best opponent for Carlsen when, you know, they had the last candidates match. it's unbelievable, you know. When Kramnik was really playing his best, he got back to #2 in the world. He would have been, I think, the best suited player to take Carlsen out, or at least hold him to a draw in a long match. It's weird. I mean, I could understand if you quit for health reasons or something like that. Wow, knight b5. I totally missed this. Wow, I wonder why he took so long to find that move. Such a strong move. Whew, that's a rude awakening. Wow. So it's going to get crazy now. This was not the plan. b5, why can I not see that move? That's crazy. Obviously black has very active pieces, but I didn't want to lose my a3 pawn. Well, I don't understand what happened to Kramnik at the last, period or whatever before he quit, but I'm sure whatever it was sort of like temporary. Again, unless it was a health problem. But I mean, Kramnik, he's obviously one of the greatest players in history. But this becoming coach of the Russian team sounds like an excuse, So, double attack. We got some play now. Kind of liking the dark squares here. He could be in serious trouble. Bishop h6, knight b1. I'm just keeping him busy. What about Mamedyarov? I mean, Mamedyarov's style is so, uncompromising. He's going to have ridiculous, inconsistent results. I mean, it's sort of amazing that he didn't have bad results earlier because he plays so wildly, and a lot of the openings that he chooses to play. It's not like Kramnik. It's probably, like life thing, girlfriend. Women will do it to you. I hope there's no women watching. I mean, I hope there are, but I sort of hope they didn't hear me. It's sort of sad. You're like a chess streamer. You're like, I hope there's no women watching. That's how sad we are. But anyway, Dragon B is not giving up here. He's got the potential to have 3 connected pass pawns for the piece. Dragon B. In your dreams, Anonymous. Looks like nasty dark squares. No, he just sort of stopped paying attention. He's not on the same page as me anymore. Alright, Dragon B sort of lost that, fell apart there. But I think you had a really interesting game. I mean, after knight b5, what the heck was going on? Let's see. Engine calls it almost equal. My best move is bishop d7. So what about my previous move, decision to play e5? If I had seen knight b5 in this position, I am not going to play e5. The Kramnik, rook e8. Dragon B, you tricked me. I thought I had a great game, but I completely overlooked that knight b5. Anyway, okay, Dragon B learned a lesson there. Beware of a5 in that kind of line. I don't think you should allow that pawn to wedge down there and disrupt your position. Okay, Duco, Oldie. These are new opponents. Get a room, guys. Seriously. This is my chess stream. Almost out of... I might have to bust out a hard alcohol for this stream. Dragon B, thank you. 500 bits. But good lesson. Dragon B learns his stuff, and I think that he'll benefit from that. The A5. Bob has the hottest girlfriend. Illuminati confirmed. Bishop c4. But you know, that's the secret of being a chess professional. I remember, at least in the United States, you have to have a wife who has a good job. That was the secret. Like, who is the most successful American chess, tournament player? And it would depend exclusively on whose wife has the best job. This is hilarious. It still holds true for the current. I was joking about the current U.S. Senior Closed Championship. This is why I like Shabalov. That's why Shabalov wins the tournament or whatever. Look at this. Queen f3. Knight b5. I have a bad feeling about this. 2100 in Rapid, 1866 in Blitz. I mean, did I fall into some sort of trap, or is this just coffee house that doesn't work? I guess I'm just freaking out for no reason. This game's getting a little bit creepy. Should I just resign now? E5 doesn't look right, but I don't know what else to do. Duco's used 3 seconds. And all of his moves are instantaneous. I don't think it looks good for me here. I could just resign and go on to the next game. I guess I can castle, try to play one more move. He doesn't move pawns. The voice, it's guided by voices. Actually, good ban. Duco is guided by voices. I don't think I'm going to be playing this game for much longer. Bishop d2. All right, what is that about? Maybe he is human. I thought I was probably close to wasted, but I guess maybe I wasn't. He's going to castle queenside, obviously. So a6 castles queenside, a takes b. This is kind of weird because I'm chasing him back to c3. But at the same time, I'm getting d4 for myself. I guess he is human. He's got the craziest style. No pawn moves. You know those move, right? I mean, they do move forward. Just letting you know. Usually, like that's like a 80s or 90s computer when they don't move any pawns. 90s or maybe early 2000s, lots of computers like that. Now knight a4. What? Say what? What is going on? I can just fork him with b5. Too good to be true. I was really thinking it was a computer at first. Those pieces were just flying at me. Maybe this is actually good for him. I think it's okay. If we calculate this a step further than Duco. Because we have bishop d7, then I win 2 pieces for the rook. Maybe even interest. Duco has a very strange game. Totally unconventional. He does not move any stinking pawns. I don't make pawn moves. He's like Samuel L. Jackson playing chess. I don't dig on no pawn moves, man. All right. Let's see. We don't do pawn moves. There it is. What are you doing? You know you're not supposed to do that. Weird game. Just really weird. Sometimes I think like when people play like that, I'm playing their phone. You know, like a really old phone. Chess engine or something. Like a really, really weak computer. Right? Like Stockfish level 2. What is going on with this game? He's like dropping his queen now? That is so weird, dude. All right. 5 plus 3. Caught me in the opening there. Something creepy about that opening that I didn't really make an obvious mistake, it looked like. And I walked into bishop c4, queen f3. I have to take a look at that before it happens again. I think that was Stockfish level 2. Well, I take back, I'm not trying to be insulting. I mean, you've got to admit that that player's style was really weird. I mean, he went from like practically beating me in 7 moves to like hanging all his pieces. You know, I mean, there's something really, really weird about that. There's nothing wrong with being a weak computer. It's a compliment. Oldie 68. Geary is like a weak computer, right? Dingley Wren is a weak computer. Yeah, the trap memorized. Very possible, Mr. Coffee. I was fearing for my life. This is my game with Dimitrios Agnostopoulos. I think that's his name. Forgotten Greek British Grandmaster. Queen E8. That's actually, speaking of Demetrius, the other Demetrius plays the same move. Isn't that weird? I like channeled that name, and Oldie68 played Dimitri's favorite move. Maybe Dimitri has a new account. This is his new, like, only Jim knows. Dimitri's secret account. I mean, that's awfully specific, but again, maybe just coincidence. I'm suspicious that this is Jim's Smurf account. Very suspicious now. I think that Dimitrios Agnos played like G5 against me, and I took on E5. Something like that happened. Long time ago. When I first started playing this system in the really early 2000s. Maybe it was even 1999. That's when I first started playing this line for white. Not you, Jim. The other Dimitri. There's too many Dimitris around here. Your name is Jim. Actually, Dimitri, we played already, or he was challenging me earlier? Wait a minute. Did I play Dimitri in the first games today? Interactive Chess is challenging me. Dimitri Lass. Yeah. I played him before. Okay, so it's really funny. He's played the exact same move, Queen E8 against me. But now black has just lost. Or maybe not. I gotta be careful I don't get a piece trapped. Knight E4, Knight E4, Queen E4. Queen E4, Knight E4, F5. Ouch. And then like Knight C3, F4. Whoa. Maybe that's a pawn I don't really want to win, to be honest. If that's going to happen, if it's going to be an avalanche. It's weird. That's weird. What the heck? I mean, is this going to be a serious problem? Interactive Chess, also a streamer. We've rated his stream a couple times, and he's challenging next. Actually, Duco's re-challenged, but I'm not going to play the same player again. I try not to do that. Give everyone a chance to play. Knight B5 is just a sort of cheap threat, but yeah, it might still be a good move. Cheap threats are the best. Because I have C5 to back it up with, actually. That's why I decided to go for it. Because it's like, I didn't like Knight E4, Knight E4, Queen E4, Queen E4, Knight E4, F5, Knight C3, F4. It's very possible that that's really playable for me, like E takes F4, G takes F4, Bishop H4, Bishop takes D4. But it looks like it gets a little random. Maybe it's better to do this. This is more like cohesive. He just blundered. Okay. Simple blunder. Not defending against the threat. But that's why I don't like Queen E8. But whenever I played Demetrius, or Demetriulas, after E4 knight D2, yeah, I don't think that Demetriulas played, he didn't play E4. It's a bad move, I guess. Just overextended, you know, this is the typical trap for this variation. This sort of positional trap to get black to overextend themselves. Thank you, Jim, for the donation. Wow, 350 bits. Brings Jim up to 1,050, so we've got Acerbate over 2275. Good rating, Acerbate's a master now. Jim rated 1,050 in Dragon BC with 1,000. Acerbate up to master level. I only need 700 and something thousand bits more. Compensate for my lost baseball bat. Donation is rating. Yeah, subtle marketing. But unfortunately, like 2,800, you know, will automatically get you up to world championship level. I've already Acerbate is almost a world champion. He only needs like 600 more bits to be world champion. It's not that difficult to become world champion in bit donations, unfortunately. Ratings only went a little higher for lack of a better plan. Yeah, this is okay. Keep it fluid. Space crimes. Nah. Galactic chess champion of Space Force. Sanctioned by Donald Trump. The first galactic space champion. The Space Force will compete in the Armed Forces Championship. I just could have taken on C7. It's ridiculous. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just too distracted by the conversation. All right, whatever. At the end of the day, I better calculate this. I mean, whatever. That's my queen, dude. I'm still up a piece. He has a little bit of Demetriulas style not giving up there. Oldie 68. The Tinfoil Hat Club thinks this is Demetriulas's secret account, but probably not. I'm not crazy strong today. Don't lie, Jim. I'm weak, like a bunny. I've been lucky that the competition hasn't played up to its normal level today. Actually, interactive chess is pretty good. I have to be careful. Last time he gave me a tough game. Maybe bunnies are strong rodents. Vorpal bunny. All right. Do you guys know the bunny scene from Monty Python? Which Monty Python was that? The Holy Grail. Okay. Killer Bunny. I love that stuff. Interactive says mute or not. It's up to you. Really, I mean, are you streaming now? I don't think he's actually streaming. But if Interactive Chess, if you're streaming later, I'm happy to raid your stream. I have excuses. My excuse today is that my eyes are tired. Blinded myself earlier with a lamp. Somebody bid my Minecraft zombie plush. I better put the new ones up. I have 4 Minecraft zombie plushies. Number 1 just got a bidder. It's the most lame excuse ever. I think I might need a drink or something. I haven't had any hard alcohol in weeks. Where's Fuchsia, speaking of hard alcohol? A fan of martinis. We miss her here. I've got some rum. It's Friday. I don't have to work tomorrow. For a change, because oftentimes I have lessons on Saturdays, but it just worked out. I'm free for the whole hurricane. Isn't that funny? Like I have like a solid day and a half where I don't have to work, and it's like exactly during Hurricane Dorian. So interesting move order by Interactive Chess. You know, most people go into the hedgehog here with c5, but he just plays e5. Purists will say this is inaccurate for black. Bob, where are you? In California or North Carolina? Wow. But you're not on the coast, so I guess that's the key question. Head out to Nag's Head, see how it's doing out there. You want some water in your bathtub? I saw some crazy videos. Knight b8. So he likes this, huh? White has a lot of space in this position. Bob's obsessed with my bathtub. Yeah, I wouldn't want to drink out of the bathtub. It's not that clean. We did clean it. Like, I'm gonna sell my house, so actually it has been recently thoroughly cleaned. Don't worry, Bob. Well, I can do that on eBay. You know, I do sell items, personal items, like dirty bathwater on eBay. I don't think that's legal. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm allowed to sell that. I think there's some health regulation against that. Sorry, Bob. This conversation is going downhill fast. Just beware. Senor Cabe. American water made my bathtub get these red stripes. The American water. Generally, we have American water in America. I'm not sure what you were expecting. We could get some imported, like British water for our American bathtubs. I don't know. I like Evian. I take baths in Evian. Someday, when I'm rich and famous. No, Europe has had a lot of good mineral waters and stuff like that. I live in Hungary most of the year, but I did get kidney stones, and I think I got it from years ago. I think I got kidney stones from drinking too much mineral water. I mean, it may just be like it's very painful. It may just be a coincidence, but I started drinking a lot of regularly drinking a lot of mineral water, and then just suddenly got kidney stones. It's extremely painful. Don't recommend it, really. Um, so if you do drink a lot of mineral water, water does not have taste. There are like water tasters and stuff, aren't there? People who are like professional water tasters. Evian I mean, waters definitely have taste, but I guess because of secondary ingredients, right? Powdered water. There was a funny joke in Hungary. This old comedian, Gaboldi, he had the skit about like boiled water as like a recipe or something. I guess you'd have to watch it in Hungarian though for it to be funny. Cooked water, something ridiculous. Um, Remember when I was a kid in New Jersey? I lived in the southern part of the state of New Jersey, which is much cleaner than the northern part near New York. But I just remember the standing joke when I was a kid was how many toxic waste sites there were, like in New Jersey. There were just like ridiculous amounts. Um, so it's not like a new thing. That wasn't, I don't want to say how old I am, obviously, but I mean, where I lived in the southern part of the state, people think of New Jersey as this, dump site for New York, but actually, the southern half of New Jersey was mostly farmland, until the last like 50 years. Still is to a large degree. Rook f8. Interactive chess is a weird style. He's confusing me. I hate playing closed positions in interactive chess. I hate playing closed positions in Blitz, and you're driving me berserk here. Doing a good job. I'm 39. Yeah, I have to say it again. I'll say it again. The late great Victor Frias would have been a good player for this position with white. I remember him just like killing me in this type of structure. I got to make progress on the queen side. Very long time ago, we played with Victor, passed away unfortunately years ago. He is just masterful positional play. This type of position. I never should have played Queen E3, but I sort of drifted without a clear plan here. But obviously interactive chess has a kind of defensive style. He likes closed positions, but he's sort of been a bit passive. Wow, early Cold War tactically introduced lead in the drinking water. Oh, that's interesting. Is that true? Okay, we're playing for all the marbles. Bob and Esri have so much information, interesting information to share with us. Where's Arsenal? He's MIA. He submitted a game. Oh, maybe he's at a tournament or something. He submitted a game for the stream the other day. The interactive chess sans white square bishop here. This is a good positional advantage for white. Obviously g4, knight f4. I can't win a piece as much as I would like to. So he's a good defender. He's made some concessions. See, that's the thing, Bob. You don't like it when I say the boy who cried wolf. But when you're a provocateur, you see, this happened to me in high school. When you're a provocateur, then the teachers, you know, they don't help you out. When you're actually innocent. You're always the guilty party. Suspicion falls on you. All right. He's still defending. Children, break it up. Mr. Coffee's gonna have to step in pretty soon. Man, I don't know about this. This is getting a little creepy. His bishop's bad. I mean, I should be winning this position easily, but I need a way in. Okay, I think I'm panicking too much there. There's actually no threat with knight h5. I should just make progress on the A file or something. Just trade pieces. That's a threat. Did I say there was no threat? Trying to steal my pawn. Ooh, he's on my rook. I think this is winning. Good defensive effort. Okay, guys, we have 45 minutes left. I'm gonna get some ice for my drink. I don't know if I can handle this. Just a second. We're gonna take a 1 minute timeout. Somebody put English muffins where the ice trays are supposed to be. I don't know who does that. All right, serious Friday stream now. busting out hard alcohol. All right, I don't know what's with me today. I won all my games, but I don't feel clear-headed. This is the point where he had the best possible position. It looks like Interactive Chess missed the Kasparovian tactic here. Knight f4. Okay. I'm sorry, what? So, Garik would play knight f4, pawn takes f4. I guess pawn takes f4. How does this work? Does this even make sense? And f6, of course. Anyway, that's a little too much for me, guys. Let's go on to the next game. Glideson, good to see you. Stuk, one of our subscribers. Mathematic Chess just does not give in. Duco doesn't give up either. I already played Duco. Mathematic Chess, it's got to be casual, not rated. Mathematics trying to pick off like 1,000 rating points in one go. Not going to happen. Thanks for the game, Interactive Chess. Thanks for playing. Yeah, tough game. I think that the suspicion lies on, giving up the white square bishop in that type of position. You don't really want to give up your light square bishop. I mean, there obviously could be exceptions. But once I got the white square bishop, it looked like you're positionally in trouble. Although I thought in general your opening was a little on the passive side. It wasn't that easy for me, I mean, generally speaking, what you did with e5 instead of the hedgehog with c5 should be better for white. But it's still not that simple. Chess is not that easy. I mean, if you get a closed position in Blitz, you frustrate the heck out of me. I hate playing the closed Sicilian or extremely closed positions in fast time controls. Because I want to have time to think, and it's like hard. You want to use your time, and you don't have it. So bishop f5, cd. I had a funny game, guys. I've played this multiple times. One on my stream a few weeks ago. It was like knight takes d5, e4, knight takes e3. That's not right. Different position. Sorry, queen's already on b3. So, okay, I know what I was going to say. Knight takes d5, queen b3? That still doesn't make sense. I don't know. I'm confused. There's a gambit here. As a father, please say in a few words on immigrant children detained in concentration camps in the U.S. Well, Bob, we hope that there really aren't quite concentration camps, but that sounds grim. Yeah, Bob. Where did that come from? Very strange. Wikipedia officially classifies them as such. Wikipedia, well, it's official. We know that's your favorite reference site. All right, b6. This is usually the worst way to defend this pawn. So I've had several games where people did like knight c6, queen b7, and then rook c8, or knight c6, queen b7, bishop d7. I think that's the best way to defend. I've told you guys like many times I had this guy that used to play me for money in Harvard Square 20 years ago, and he was like an 1800 player. He would repeatedly play queen b6 and go into the same endgame after knight takes d5, queen takes b3, a takes b3, excuse me, queen takes b3, knight f6 check, ef6 check, ab. The same guy would just play the same endgame over and over and over again and just kept losing every single time. Queen b6 just drops a pawn, and black doesn't get enough compensation. So b6. Looks like we've got e4 type of ideas. Very powerful. e4, knight takes e4. Alright, just for fun. I mean, I have no idea if this is even remotely sound. Actually, Glycin seems like he got stronger. Playing him last time, he put a very strong resistance in this game. We have played him on a different account. I think he has a new account. It's okay, Mathematic Chess. But I don't just, I'm not going to just randomly decline people. I just play only casual. So, you're welcome to challenge. No, there are people who like to troll you, though, by being 1300 and then, like, getting their friend who's, like, 2400 to play and, like, of course. Check. I don't know. I don't think this is quite correct for me, but I thought we'll try it for fun. I'm sacking a pawn temporarily. What was my idea here? Knight e5, e6, something like d5. Goodness. It certainly looks active for white. Cheers, everyone. Thank God it's Friday. I don't mean to be thank God it's a bid received on the Minecraft zombie. I'll put another one up later. Like I have just like a box of Minecraft zombies for sale. This actually could be detrimental to Black's health. It so happens I have 4 such zombies. I live in Zombieville. Zombie land. At 39, I'm probably one of the youngest residents of the neighborhood where I live. Buy them in bulk. They're kind of cute, the Minecraft zombies. Buy them for your friend. It makes a great Christmas present. You can remember the chess streamer who lived in Zombieland? Oh man, I can't stand the old people. Some of them are okay, but I have these really, really annoying neighbors. This one lady and her husband just keep like walking their dog in my yard. She just really wants a conflict. It's clear that she's bored and she absolutely is looking for conflicts. I eventually just gave up. Bishop takes f6. Alright, this doesn't look good for Black. This is unhealthy. So e6 is like the fatal mistake. It looked like the most obvious move in the world, right? Man, I mean, there isn't really a good suggestion. Bishop e6, d5, hasta la vista. It's hard to recommend a good move for Black there, actually. There's nothing wrong yet. Bob, you're like kind of inhuman there. Soylent Green. I wouldn't want to like be around Bob in a futuristic world where there's not enough resources or something like that. You're just talking about concentration camps for children. Obviously, there will be no such places for old people, eh, Bob? You have much more sympathy for children. But I am a little fed up with the neighbors here. They have nothing better to do than waste all their money on mowing their grass twice a week or something like that. I mean, it's totally insane. I think I do accidental Canadian A's sometimes. I think ever since Donald Trump became president, I'm just more and more thinking about becoming a Canadian. I'm already like, you know, I can bail out to Hungary because I'm resident there. If that doesn't work, we definitely need a backup plan, though. So I'm practicing my Canadian accent. Seems like Hungary takes care of their old better than the US. Well, I mean, there's more family, sort of traditional family, I would say, values, like, but they don't have the infrastructure or the money as much, so the care there, sadly, you know, would probably be better, but they just don't have the finances to support as good elder care as in the United States. Check by mate. Check by mail. You should always mate with the lowest form of material. The lowest life form. Knights are worth less than bishops, according to Mr. Staunton. I'm not putting it up for sale, but I have 2 copies of Staunton's chess handbook. One of which is autographed by Staunton. No, I'm just kidding. It's not autographed by Staunton. That'd be awesome. If I had Staunton's autograph. Wow. Okay, Stuck is up next. I'm almost that old to have Staunton's autograph. All right. 7:30. The big mate. No, we took Gladson out there. Well, he took himself out with a bad Slav. A couple of fundamental mistakes. Bishop f5. Logical move, but patently bad. Second mistake, b6. I'm interested in our little trick with e4, if that's actually like the best move for black or not. It's the Chigorin versus the bird. I don't normally play the Chigorin, I'm just kind of messing around. But I feel like f4 justifies knight c6 somehow more than most moves, you know? If you play b3, we'll have like a Jim. Jim would go for b3. I feel kind of like I've had a withdrawal. Like lately we haven't had any games with Jim in the b3 opening. And I feel like it's part of my life is somehow missing. Oddly, 1b3 was my last tournament win. I had a game, my only win of 2018 in an over-the-board game. Some hapless 2200 fell victim to me in Hungarian Team Championship back in like March. Little did he know how much training I've had with Master Jim. So bishop e2. I'm just making stuff up as I go along here. It was good though. I was really worried I wouldn't have a tournament victory for the whole year. That would be the first year of my life when I don't think I've had a year where I didn't have a tournament victory. It's possible that I lost track, and I might have when I was playing poker full time. But even when I was playing poker full time, I was still playing in the Hungarian Team Championship or some one-off tournament like once in a while. I've never like quit completely like Kramnik. But I was very close to not having a single win for 2019 if that guy hadn't lost. Maybe there's still time to get in a tournament. Some of my chess accomplishments. New England champion. Several times, multiple times. Massachusetts state champion several times. Big titles. I'm I'm sometimes embarrassed to even like people ask me, what are your biggest accomplishments in chess? Like, okay, it's not a big deal to like win a state championship or something. I played in the US championship a couple of times. I'm proud of that. You know, I haven't never won like a big international tournament. But I did win Foxwoods once, which was my biggest tournament victory. What's your biggest score, William? So I would say I've won more playing poker than chess. It's sort of sad, like you devote like 80% of your life to chess and like 15% of your life to poker, and you've made a lot more money playing poker than chess. It's sort of sad. Gormley fan club's here with 100 bits. Esserman's very respectful. I don't still play a lot of poker, unfortunately. I would like to, but I basically played online. You know, some occasional live tournaments, but almost exclusively online. But unfortunately, the certain things have made it less profitable than it once was. So I think you're fighting an uphill battle at this point, trying to do online poker as an occupation. There are better things to do. Plus, anyway, I wanted to kind of get back to chess, so I kind of quit like 3 years ago, playing poker full time. I did it for like the best part of 7 years or so, and my chess suffered, unfortunately. Though I think there's a good chance that I could have gotten to GM. I mean, it's easy to say like could have, should have, would have. But seriously, if I had devoted my energies fully to chess instead of poker between like 2007 and 2015, I mean, very likely I might have been a GM. But you can only like make one choice, right? I mean, we can't just constantly complain. I want to play like knight b4 here. It's just a perverse move. It's totally mental. Knight b4, queen b4, knight e3, queen d2, knight g2 check. I mean, this is totally unsound. I don't know. This position... My GM studying regimen? Do you think I had a GM studying regimen? I never had a GM studying regimen. That's why I'm not a GM, Bob. But I still think I might have done it even without the GM studying regimen. But if I had one, I think that my openings are my weakest, my weakest department. So it would have to consist of mostly like opening preparation, I would say. This is ridiculous. Knight g4, queen d2, knight back to f6. Whatever. No, my GM studying regimen would be probably 80% opening prep, Bob. I'm inherently lazy, and so I never studied as much as most players in opening preparation. H4 is... that's a radically horrible weakening of White's position. Is the Sicilian too loaded with theory for beginners of 1500? Tommy Shelby. No, because, you can play like I did, for example, e4, c5, knight f3, queen c7. There's plenty of ways to still avoid maybe like, the mainstream of the mainstream. Even in 1986, or whenever I started playing chess, 1985, I figured out very quickly that it's a bad idea to play the Najdorf, because that's, why have to memorize like 30 moves of theory? The Sveshnikov, by Andras Dorian, one of the first Sicilian books I ever got. It had like a, you know, Library of Congress style Dewey Decimal System chapter, you know, like chapter 2.438, chapter 2.765. I was like, all right, I'm not going to play the Sicilian Sveshnikov if I have to memorize, like, and that's like, what, 30 years ago? I'm like, I'm not playing this opening. But if you don't play the Sveshnikov and you don't play the Najdorf, I mean, it's really, you know, not that unreasonable. And I think that the Sicilian is a very, you know, flexible opening. No, there's no reason that nobody can play that. It's just those particular variations, I think, a little bit really crazy to try to play that. Even for masters, something solid with an E6 system, yeah. Like, Gormley Fan Club says Taimanov, so, you know, any kind of system exactly based on E6, they're very solid. You can play like the A6 Sicilian, the O'Kelly, and it's fine for black. This position, very creative by white. Not that stupid, 95 now. And it's just a really demented, Jabava-esque cross between the gym opening and the Stonewall attack. Don't even start with the London system. This is my stream. I'm going to ban you if you talk about the London, if you start recommending the London system. I'm the most anti-London system player ever. Because it just teaches people to be robotic. You know, I think be a little more adventurous than that, you know. Okay, but all right, whatever. It's okay. You play it. You know, Nikola Sedlak, I know he's a very good grandmaster from Serbia who plays it, and he's serious about it. He told me, do you know why I play the London system? Because it makes people angry, you know. This is literally what he said to me, like kind of paraphrasing what he said, but basically he plays the London system because it like frustrates people like me. Yeah, maybe he's right. But I mean, sure, that's the traditional advice. Club players should play an opening like the London system because it's simple, it's easy to learn. Stuk is good at hanging tough. Look at this. Stuk is 1200. His kingside attack's looking a little scary, actually. I'm legitimately concerned about my future here at this point. And I have no way to break through against him. I seriously don't like this anymore. I'm just completely freaking out. Simply brilliant. Played by white. Absolutely brilliant. He's probably checkmating me here. Totally crushed me. White's clearly better now. Almost winning by force. Wow. He's 1200. What happened here? He brought his master buddy? Got him getting like mated. What is going on? You missed h7 check there, which probably just ends the game. Whoa. Dude. I'm just completely dead. Maybe not in the final position, but a minute ago, h7 just ends it. I'm just, forget about it, resigns. Plus 15, plus 23. Check this game out. I mean, I'm talking a lot during the game. I'm not paying that much attention. Next thing I know, I'm just like rolled. Totally unorthodox play by white, right? The best move is knight f6. Check it out. Like, I thought and thought for this position, like, what, 45 seconds? And literally, I played knight f6. But now, all of a sudden, this absurd-looking move, I mean, wow. That was a huge blunder. Like, I was about to play knight e4, and I didn't play it right away. It would have saved me a lot of headache. So I have a good position, but look. I can't believe how this went wrong. In just a couple of moves, it goes from looking good for black to completely lost. I mean, how does this even happen? You know? Is b4 a mistake? So b4 is a mistake. That was the first move the Stockfish suggested in this position. Literally to play b4. My whole idea was to conquer the e4 square. Oh, I'm doing great, you know. No, I'm not doing great. Like, once I let that knight into a4 and into c5, it all, like, started to fall apart. So I had to defend this with queen d7. And he can gang up on it, you know. I'm probably going to lose this. I would assume I'm going to lose it anyway. But that's not the end of the world. So this was just a huge mistake to play b4. Nice game by Stuck. I mean, I'm just dead, you know. h7 check. It's so weird because he played h6 and he just didn't follow through. h6 here, h7 check, and resigns. I don't think my king is going to last long on f6 in this position. I can't believe I played queen e8, but I was about to lose on time. The queen e8 is a horrible move. It's like the worst move in the world, but there is no good move in this position. I'm just lost. That's a great game. It's like, that's like Yubaba. That's what would happen if I played Yubaba in like a Blitz or Rapid game or something. This position would happen. Probably, you know. Great job. 5 plus 3. Knight f3. I'm back to boring stuff. Alright, so the problem here is that black will play e5. If I play g3, he plays e5. I don't like the reverse Pierts. I don't know why Stuck is 1200. He's clearly better than that. I guess he just loses on time. Gormley Fan Club, I don't prefer knight f3 to d4. It's just that that's like sort of Arsenal fan, one of our subscribers explained. It's a practical thing. You know, I realize that knight f3 is probably not as good a move as d4, but it's like I have to memorize less. I have to be up on less theory when I play knight f3. You know what I mean? It's less to have to prepare for. That's all. I mean, I don't like think knight f3 is a better move than d4. But d4 requires a very, very serious, heavily prepared repertoire. Not as bad as e4, but close, you know. This is a good system by black, something kind of different, reasonable. I only started to play knight f3 like on a regular basis, maybe like 15 years ago. Because it's like easier. Kramnik played it a lot, you know. I mean, there was a real trend for knight f3. There's a series of books by Alexander Halifman, who was a FIDE world champion. You know, arbitrary title, but still, Halifman was a great player, and he wrote a great series of books. I never owned them or read that, but I'm just talking about, like, you know, it was so popular because of books by Halifman, because Kramnik was playing knight f3. It's been regarded, you know, as a great way to play without risk. I think a very solid opening repertoire for white. But, you know, it's not as testing as d4. Trying to listen for a reaction from your moves. d5 is sort of weird. It looks like you're trying to go with a different type of pawn structure there. But I understand. I don't understand g6 and d5. My setup is very sort of restrained here. First of all, because I'm getting tired. It's been like 2 hours plus streaming. I'm just trying to play something solid here. Black gets the bishop outside the pawn chain. Especially against weaker players. This is a 1382. I mean, I don't need to blow this player away, you know. I'm just going to try to out-technique them in most cases. Obviously, he seems kind of subtle for a player who's 1300. Playing stuff like rook, bishop g4 and a6 and e6 and g6 and bishop g7. I mean, you know, most people who are 1300 don't play this type of setup. So that's surprising to begin with. Then your name is like mathematics. So it's like an MIT guy. All right, knight a4. That's a bad move. Okay, so you're just giving me knight c5. Warnaki said a5. You missed something. That's a6. Your other a5. But you see how restrained white's setup is. I'm playing for like the minimum. And also, I mean, I probably should have played bishop a3 before, to be honest, but now he'll play rook e8. I should have probably played this in one move earlier. It was slightly more active. Really good at math, not chess. Well, that's the joke that everybody, not joke, that's the thing that people always ask me, like, oh, you must be really good at math. Like, people, when you go to a party, they always just say this assumption that chess players are necessarily good at math. And a lot of chess players are good at math. I'm not really one of them. I like statistics, but I never really liked math. I dropped my math classes in college and passed my statistics courses. But it's a different thing, really. But a lot of chess players are into the math aspect of similarities, you know. I mean, geometry is math, and I think I appreciate the geometric side of chess. Probably my favorite, you know, mathematical field would be geometry. This is obviously just a tactic mistake. Statistics is useful in so many fields, right? I mean, I had statistics courses in like psychology, in economics, you know, so it's like obviously hugely useful in poker and even in chess. So the practical applications of statistics kind of outweigh like any other aspect of math. You would thrive with the London system as an endgame expert. Look at Kamsky, man. I'm like a baby Kamsky, you know. Kamsky won a pawn against me and I resigned out of respect, you know. That's people were like, I've told the story before, I know, but just for people that don't know it, there were grandmasters that asked me like, what are you doing? Why did you resign? Not like 1900s walking by and asked me, why did you resign? There was one or two GMs who actually asked me why I resigned. And it's like, dude, you know the Kamsky lists for like pawn up endgames. I mean, this is like never in my life did I resign a game against somebody. The Kamsky is the master of that London system, and it fits his style perfectly, Jim. You know what you're talking about. So you're probably right. Like, and I have played the London system. There's a very, very good game I played against Joel Benjamin in the U.S. Masters in like 1996. Maybe it was later. Actually, I think it was 1999. So I played Joel, and I played d4, and Joel played d5, and I played bishop f4. And this is 1999. You know, the London system was not trendy, so I'm not a bandwagon guy. But it went d4, d5, bishop f4, and Benjamin played c6. And at that point, you know, white should normally play e3. and follow up with like c4. But I played c3 against Joel, and he said after the game that he was like physically ill. When I played c3, he just like didn't want to play anymore. I mean, I played it because like I don't really know the theory, you know, that much, so I was just playing moves. But it ended up being a really interesting game actually, because Joel ended up playing like g6, and the game actually became a kind of modern defense instead of a real London, and we had a battle, but it was a draw. But I was better in that game. So I have played a London system at least twice. So, wow, I'm really missing some of your tactics. Any tip on how to improve? Yeah, I mean, to me, like you obviously had some appreciation for like structure and getting the pieces out to decent squares. But I mean, your only mistakes that I saw were tactical mistakes. Mathematic chess. You just need to improve, like just generally, tactically. I think usually it's the opposite. I mean, honestly, for most people who are your level, who are like 1382 online, 90% of the time is the exact opposite. Like they're a little bit better tactically and like horrible in strategic concepts. But it looks like you're kind of like you understand something strategically, but you're actually lacking in the tactics, you know, which is more rare and easier to fix actually. You just probably do, you know, a lot of tactics problems and just play Blitz. Okay, guys, we have time for one last game. Any takers? Oh, by the way, Mathematic Chess just got a subscription. Tier 1 from Bob. I want to appreciate you. I heard that's like what people say in Texas. Is that true? I had this former student who ghosted me. Don't ever do that to your chess coach, okay? You can do it to your girlfriend, but don't ghost your chess coach. You know, that's just weird. Like, why would you do that? I'm a chess guy. You don't have to do that to me. But anyway, I got distracted. So I appreciate you. You know, is that like a Southern thing? Oh, a subscription on Twitch. It's you become like a VIP, let's say, for our stream. So what it means in my stream is that you're gonna get to play if I have a stream, you know, you can play me right away. I take the subscribers first. I also hold a subscriber stream on Thursdays where people can submit their games for analysis. So the subscribers get the chance to have their games analyzed, for example. It's a benefit. So Baleful and Takeback. Last game, I already played Baleful. So last game will be against Takeback. Otherwise known as Mr. Late. The subscription is monthly, so it lasts 30 days, I assume. E4. Thank you, Bob. Very kind of you, actually. Bob, you know, he's got heart. That's why I let him stick around, even if he is a troll. A troll with heart, you know, I will take any day over an ordinary soulless person. Knight c3. Like my neighbors. They're just like zombies without souls. My eBay, so check out my eBay stream. I'm getting drunk on one drink. My eBay stream. The boring variation. If you want to make life more interesting, you should play like Knight f6 here on move 3. This is all the rage now amongst Carol Khan players. But I certainly don't know the theory well enough to be playing it with black. Gormley Fan Club, yeah, looking at games is great for subscribers. Yeah, I mean, I think like spending an hour to go over one game, ideally, you know, that's what you should do at home. And that may not be obvious to people. Bob, did you know that? You should probably like spend an hour on one game. Open up a book, put it on the table, take out a chess set, take out a Grandmaster game, and spend an hour analyzing it. Has anybody here, you know, is anybody here surprised when I say that that's like a normal thing to do? With the advent of internet chess, it may seem strange to consider such a thing. I mean, it should be the strongest player's game. Obviously, Warnaki. I think that should be evident. You know, it should be the strongest game. You know, you can find. I think this is like Fischer versus Kyrgios, actually. Paul used the Caro-Kann. A good choice against Bobby. But, alright. I don't remember now, even though I've done some analysis of those Fischer-Kyrgios games, I don't remember the exact move order anymore. You never see the reasons behind the GM moves. Well, I will tell you right now, the best chess book to study is a game, you know, game book analyzed by the players themselves. So, Bronstein on Bronstein's games, or, you know, Kyrgios on Kyrgios' games. It's not quite as good if you get, like, you know, Raymond Keane studying the games of Nigel Short or something like that. You know, or a tournament book where, like, one player analyzes all the games of the tournament. I think the most instructive are games analyzed by the players themselves. There are, however, you know, people like world champion Aliekin who maybe would, like, make up things and tell little white lies about their game and maybe change the analysis to make themselves look good and stuff like that. But for the most part, you know, I think that when you analyze games by a grandmaster, you know, or world champion or whatever, where they've analyzed the games themselves, I mean, those are the best of all. So this looks really good for black. Castle's queenside is almost taking your life in your hands here, although I'm not sure about d4. I might be overdoing it here. Sarawan? I was joking about Yasser earlier. I said that he's still going to be refusing to play chess when he's dead. Refusing to take part in tournaments and stuff. He'll be commentating from heaven. Okay, so it looks like I overextended myself a little bit, maybe. The takeaway here is that white has a bishop and a knight, and black has two knights. And that's what Kyrgios kind of relied on to win a couple of games against Robert J. And the interesting thing about that is, and I always reference this matchup, was the fact that Kyrgios was a Spanish. You know, he liked to play the black side of the Roy Lopez. But Fischer was so good at the white side of the Roy Lopez, Fischer, he actually forced Kyrgios to switch openings. But it worked out really well. Like, Kyrgios probably ended up with a good score against Fischer lifetime because of those two games. But the thing is, now Takeback has enough space that his bad bishop here actually isn't that bad. So I think, truthfully, his position is okay. But Kyrgios and Fischer never had a game where, like, Fischer castle queenside. You know, typically, white's playing this position like a King's Indian attack, and he's castling 100% of the time on the king side. This is a very, very unorthodox idea, what white's doing. I've never seen anybody try to castle queenside in a Caro-Kann two knights variation. It's totally off the wall. But that doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. Let's see. Raid. We're going to do a raid if we can. There's no one to raid except for Bob Ross and Lex Welthuis. You know, instructive. I'm sorry. Who was here earlier? Pepe Lou's not raiding. A raid Zibit. Okay. I can raid Zibit. Is Zibit streaming? For some reason, I don't see Zibit. I thought I had him on my notify. Well, he just got on. I just probably need to refresh my Twitch page. Interactive chess, I was trying to say, but I have memory lapses. Friend of Zibbit's. So I could raid Zibbit. Icelandic chess master. We played simultaneously in Budapest, but never really met each other. Bob, everything you do is a faux pas. Almost everything. There's no need to ask. If you want to do it, it's a faux pas. Alright, bishop h3. Just instinctively, you make faux pas. You're good at it. It's a gift. I'm in rare form tonight, guys. Yeah. Sunday simul, don't forget, guys. Alright, this is such a classic position. The King's Indian. My opponent is castle queenside. It's like he's playing the King's Indian with black, and he's castled queenside. Imagine, like, that's my queenside expansion with the white pieces. c5. Strategic difficulties. There was a game once I played. I haven't seen Morales. We haven't seen Morales, one of our regular subscribers, in a while. There was a game, the game in a Carol Khan advanced variation where he got slaughtered by castling queenside. The only time you're really casting queenside in the Carol Khan, right, is in the main line. This move, however, is a little bit of a problem. G6 is not good. Talking a lot of crap, basically. So pawn takes d3, pawn takes g7. White dangerously close to getting mated there. There's some fantastic variations. D takes c, h takes g, and then like knight b4 with an all-out annihilation. My God, could he avert disaster there? G6, not a good idea. I guess the best thing I've got to think about is maybe like letting him take on g7, playing knight g6 when I need to, and you know, using his pawn as a human shield, which is something that obviously Bob. No, I can't sack a rook here. Can I sack a rook with check? That's what I was really wanting to do. Sack a rook with check, take with the king. Then there's no mate. My goodness. This has got to be at least a draw. All right, just for fun. I don't know. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm going to take with the king. This can't be sound. This is just purely for fun, guys. It's totally unnecessary. I should just play like rook, I don't know, fc8 or something. So take my rook. I take with the king so I don't get mated on h7. And then all hell breaks loose, basically. Astrobate will love it. It's good for the fans. If he plays king b1, he has some problems, right? That's not really a walk in the park. Who won at least one under 1500 Blitz tourney? Luana. What's up? Oh. What's this? That better not be mate. He's close to mating me. Close doesn't count. It's not horseshoes. That was our high school joke, right? Horseshoes dancing. Wow, Take Back just couldn't. He couldn't find something. Amazing. So, you know, it's all good. A virtual explosion in the white position. You can run, but you can't hide. Aspirate's gonna submit this for a game analysis next week. But it is made if I'm not careful here. Taking a walk. Oh, that's kind of anticlimactic. Now I go knight g6 check. That kills all the mates. There's no mate anymore. This is just not fun. That's what happens when I start drinking rum on the stream. Alright, he just resigned. I mean, is this sound, like, seriously? It seems kind of crazy, but to just drop your rook with check. I think my opponent is the crazier one to castle queenside, though. Wow. So it's sound, actually. It's not... Yeah. It was the second best move. The engine says that knight e7 is slightly better the night before in this position. That's funny. It's the secondary most annihilating move. I wasn't 100% sure. Obviously, it looks like risky to lose a rook with check, but I assume there's no survival here. Anyway, guys, it was entertaining today. So we're going to be back on Sunday with Simul, 25 players, our usual routine. Just pray for me that I survive the hurricane here. The southeast coast of Massachusetts getting lashed by the remnants of Hurricane Dorian. And hopefully we don't lose power so that we have our simul stream. If there's no stream on Sunday, you'll know what happened to my power. So I will see you guys on Sunday. Thanks for joining. Thanks for playing. Thanks, Mr. Coffee, for being our moderator. And thanks for Bob for being the clown in the stream and our class clown. But anyway, I will see you guys later on Sunday. Have a great one. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.